When I meet people, I always say to them, Harlow is the most amazing town.
I lived in Harlow since 1987. The growth of the community is immense.
Harlow's changed quite a bit over the years.
A lot of people have moved here from London. There are definitely a lot more housing estates, there are a lot more people, a lot more diverse people here as well.
People generally can be quite nice. I started my business off in 2010. I moved to the Stowe 2.5 years ago now, but it's still been a struggle.
I like living in Harlow, especially as a mum of young children.
I've lived in Harlow my entire life. I was born here. It's become a scarier place now than it used to be, I must admit.
In 30 years of living in Harlow, quite a lot have changed, especially the town centre. It seems a bit like a ghost town.
It's challenging times and people are struggling. A lot of people have lost their jobs. They're doing 2-3 jobs to put food on the table. They're struggling to pay gas and electricity bills.
Well, the cost of living has become a problem for me. Everything has gone up triple the price.
A lot of the BME community are ashamed. They're too proud to ask for help. How do you tell somebody I'm starving at home?
I came here as a widow. I was self-employed. I got into debt. Things spiralled out of control. I didn't feel as though I was living, I just felt I was existing, and there wasn't any kindness. You were just a claimant. I felt as though someone had pulled the rug from under my feet and then knocked me out.
The pandemic definitely has hit home hard. I feel the spirit of the community has dropped quite a lot, to be honest. A lot of things need to change.
As a profession, I'm a cab driver. I go out daily basis, meet different people. I see that they are quite comfortable, they're happy. People generally do feel safe in Harlow.
I definitely haven't visited the town centre sort of at night for a very long time. I don't hear a lot of good things about it.
The town centre's ridiculous now, even. I've got young children. I won't let them go out alone.
Safety-wise around Harlow, it's a bit of a struggle. You worry so much, literally, for your younger ones now.
I've got quite a few medical problems, so I do use the health service quite a lot. And it is really good. They do deal with my needs really well.
On the odd occasion where I've needed to take my children to A&E, they have been seen really quickly and they've been really well looked after. What I find difficult with the GP services is not being able to make an appointment unless it's an emergency.
They should build a hospital. We're already struggling in Harlow with Princess Alexandra Hospital because it's not serving only Harlow. It's serving around the towns as well, small villages also.
We're currently on a 2-year waiting list for my daughter to receive mental help from the mental health service.
We had somebody had a heart attack, for example, and they have to go all the way to, there is a Basildon hospital which deal with all the heart problems. Why don't we have the service in Harlow?
I set up the Parenthood of Harlow in order to create a community hub dedicated to early years. Childcare is the biggest issue that everybody faces. You know, if you want to return to work and, you know, earn a decent enough wage for your family, childcare is like a second mortgage, and it shouldn't be.
I did feel that Harlow was a good place to bring up children. My 2 eldest children are older. There seemed to be a lot more to do for children when they were younger. Nowadays, for my youngest, 8, I don't feel there is as much for her to do.
There's no sort of hubs or social places as such, and I think that's one of the major issues that Harlow has. If they offered more to young children, I think they would be surprised to how many children perhaps would join.
Raising a family in Harlow, it's environmentally friendly. It's good because it's got a lot of green open spaces for children to run around and play compared to other places.
I always really enjoyed going down to the town park and visiting the animals at Pets Corner.
Leisure Zone is a nice place, expensive.
So I just hope the housing situation will improve for people.
Some people do feel that, they are not treated fairly in a sense, because office blocks has been made into the living places like small flats, and they're not happy. They don't feel that, this is the place they're going to live forever.
I am not fond of multi-occupants units, which is not a place young families should be with young children.
So I've been living in Harlow for the past 6 years, me and my son and my husband, near my son's primary school. And unfortunately, we've been moved by the council to a further field in Sumners. And rent is so expensive. It's costing more to get into town every day, or every week rather. I still love Harlow, but it's just, further afield for me, and it's very challenging at the moment.
So there is a transport issue. Certain areas, the buses only goes around that area once an hour, and sometimes not at all.
I don't drive, so I do use a lot of public transport. I find that very good, actually.
I specifically chose to live here because of the ability to get about without a car.
Harlow transport system is not as obviously good as London Central.
Trying to get from Harlow to Epping, the closest tube station, is really difficult.
In some cases, there is no bus available after a certain time. So that's something that needs to improve, I believe.
When I think about the future for Harlow, I see an amazing town.
Harlow is growing, not just community-wise, also they're building the new houses. There also new businesses.
It's just about turning things around in Harlow, and I think this is what organisations in Harlow are aiming for.
We need to pull ourselves together, all together.
For me, it's important getting community back together because, without the community, you've got nothing.